Okay, over the weekend, I tested positive for COVID. So I would recommend that you stay at least 6 feet away from your screens in order to maintain a margin of caution on this video. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd. Deep Space Nine, we're talking about profit and loss. The main plot is Quark meets an old flame. And this old flame is a Cardassian, and that comes to the notice of Garak. And between Garak and Quark and Odo and Quark and Natima, who is the old flame, there is a rather interesting plot, a puzzle, and a love story. I think that it's incredibly well done. There are one of the things that I like the most about it. I would think if I had to pick a favorite character in the series would be Garak, because you really never know where his loyalties lie. He tells you, but you don't know really, because he speaks in metaphors. I loved the wordplay in the scene where he and Quark are in Garak's shop, and he notices a nice dress, which is the latest in Cardassian fashion. And he talks about offering to pay even more than Garak is charging for it to buy for Natima. Which means, of course, that Quark is there to get information, and Garak, who only speaks in metaphors, it makes it an interesting exchange, because in the whole scene, they're both talking about clothing, but they're not. And the line that I like in this, Garak says, I'd hate to see her fall victim to fashion. Where fashion is politics and clothing is what side of the aisle that you're on. So this is the way that Garak talks. I mean, in the very early scene, it's he and Bashir who are in Quark's bar having a philosophical discussion. Once again, Julian tries to kind of pry him out. You're really a spy, aren't you? And he says, I'm just a simple tailor. He said, well, I've wondered if you're a spy or an exile. And Garak says, well, maybe both. And he said, how could you be both? He said, I've never admitted to either one. It was an interesting little exchange there. And so, even when Garak is trying to help, he's not going to be straightforward about it. He's going to give kind of a general idea of which direction to go. And while he does say in as many words that his interest is in Cardassia, we don't know what that means. Does that mean the Cardassian government, the Cardassian military, which they said jokingly aren't they the same thing? Or the people? Or is he as much a revolutionary? Or is he an exile and a spy and is hoping to find the opportunity to redeem himself and be able to go back home? Depending on who he's talking to, you get it both ways. When he's talking to Gul Duran, he is someone who's been exiled and wants to go back. When he's talking to Quark after the encounter with Turan, maybe that's not the case. So, and so you have this kind of understanding whenever you're dealing with Garak, and I think Julian is beginning to understand this. I think Quark has a better understanding of it than we were given an idea. And the relationship between Quark and Odo also, where they are what we would now call frenemies. They're often on opposite sides of the law of each other, but they do have some common ground and have a respect for each other. So anyway, a lot of nuanced acting here. And as for the part of Natima, you never really know if she is someone who was using Quark, or if Quark was using her in their previous relationship, until the very end, what the status of their relationship was. So I like the vulgarity of the episode, which we don't really know where anybody stands. We don't really know where Odo stands, where Quark stands, where Naima stands, and where Garak stands. And this kind of play that they have with each other is interesting, and it makes it always fun to watch. So that's what I have on this. I hope that you've enjoyed it as well, and please do put some comments below. Let me know what you think about it. And in the meantime, if you have not subscribed, please do so. It'll make me get well sooner, and a like would be nice as well. So tomorrow we'll have, assuming that I'm holding together, tomorrow we'll have our Star Trek Original Series episode review, and then Babylon 5 on Friday. So until then, don't go far.